everyone. Welcome to Barca News and welcome to the watch along. Where today we're going to be watching Barcelona versus Getafe at the Estadi Johan Cruyff. Now, the lineups have just been announced, and of course, we do have some rotations given that the team played a Champions League match only 3 days ago. In goal, we have Joan Garcia. On the right, we have Jules Koundé. And on the left, Gerard Martin, replacing the injured Alejandro Balde. And a surprise in the center back pairing. Of course, we expected Pau Cubarsí not to start, given that he has been suffering, has been feeling some discomfort. So we have Eddie Garcia alongside Andreas Christensen. In the midfield, Pedri and Frenkie de Jong, the two starting pivots. In the attacking midfield, Dani Olmo. I kind of predicted this one, given that Getafe are obviously going to close the space. So, of course, Dani Olmo is much better in tight spaces than Fermin Lopez. So, Dani Olmo in attacking mid. The surprise is that Ferran Torres is playing on the left in the place of Marcus Rashford. I don't know if this is in order to rest Rashford or whether it's because Flick, feels like maybe Rashford would not be as effective in tight spaces, because Rashford is someone who, thrives in spaces with long runs to the back of the defenders, kind of like Rafinha, but a lot more skilled. Should I say a little bit, but more skilled. So, I don't know. But Ferran Torres is starting on the left, Rafinha on the right, and Lewandowski as our starting center forward. Now, we do have kickoff, of course. It's already the 43rd second, as Barcelona will try to get this win, this much-needed win, because, of course, we did drop 2 points against Rayo Vallecano. And, well, as a result, Real Madrid are now 2 points ahead of us, as they have not dropped a single point. So a must-win for Barcelona in order to stay in the race. But, of course, I say that lightly because stay in the race, it's pretty early in the season. Plenty of matches left. So it's not like it's a tight race that's like coming to an end and we have to stay. But, of course, you don't want to fall too much behind, because then the more you fall behind, the more ground you need to recover as the season progresses. Now, right now, Barcelona are on the attack. Rafinha to Jules Koundé, Koundé to Frenkie de Jong, Frankie back to Koundé, Koundé to Rafinha, who tries to pass it to Olmo, but it gets intercepted and out of bounds again for Barcelona. Now, of course, I expect a dirty match by Getafe as the minutes progress. It's natural. That's what you expect from any team that Bordalas manages. If you don't know who Bordalas is, he's Getafe's coach. Oh, wait, here we go. We have an attack here. Ferran Torres was driving the ball. Oh, no, it was Christensen. Why did I think that was Ferran Torres? They don't even look alike. But it was Christensen driving the ball into the box, and Getafe's defense gets there, intercept the ball, and they kick it to the corner. So we have a corner for Barcelona. But as I was saying, I expect a dirty match by Getafe, as they always do. This is a team with very, very little resources, talent-wise, money-wise. So, of course, the only way they can fight bigger teams is, well, by disrupting their flow. Not through good play, not through good defending, but through dirty tactics like fouls, holding on to shirts, wasting time, you name it. You've seen how Getafe play. I don't expect Getafe to play any different today. And we do have a foul at the right outside the box on Jules Koundé. The referee just blew the whistle and awarded Barcelona a free kick. Let's see what Barcelona get out of this. By the way, Getafe wearing that yellow, bright yellow uniform. It's their third kit. Their first kit is blue. Of course, that clashes with Barca's kit, because we have blue, Blaugrana, right? Their second kit is red, of course, a bright red as opposed to the Barcelona burgundy. Still clashes, so they're wearing their third kit, bright yellow, which is very similar to Villarreal's uniform, and a little bit similar to the Señera, Barcelona Señera, but of course the Señera is more as darker yellow. It's more closer to a golden yellow than it is to the yellow, the bright yellow that Getafe are wearing. But anyways, we have a free kick. It looks like Rafinha's going to take it, but Pedri's right next to him, almost right behind him, so any of the three could take it. And, oh, that was really bad. So it looks like it was a scripted play. Rafinha passed it to Pedri. And then Pedri passed it back to Rafinha. Rafinha kicked it, but it was a terrible kick that went completely wide to the left. But I like to see this. I like to see these plays, these drawn out plays when it comes to free kicks. This is not something that we were used to seeing in many, many years for Barcelona because, of course, why? We had Messi, right? We didn't need these drawn out plays for free kicks. We didn't need these scripted plays, right? Because we knew that if Messi took it, well, that was a good chance he was gonna go in, right? There was no need to confuse the opponent. You could even tell him where Messi was gonna kick it, and it still would have went in, right? Because that's how great he is with the free kicks. But it's really nice to see this. A lot of teams employ these tactics. When you have a free kick, well, they draw out some kind of play in order to confuse the opponent's defense. Where one guy pretends to kick it and he goes wide, and the other guy pretends to kick it, but then he makes a black backflip, and a third guy who comes in and does a handstand, and just all these things to confuse the opponent. That's what Barcelona tried, but it did not work, and now we have Getafe with the out of bounds right next to Barcelona's box. Of course, Getafe will be looking to use the wings a lot. That's how they play. They park the bus down the middle. They have a 5-4-2 formation. Wait, does that math add up? 5, 8, 4, 9, 2, and is 11, so that does not add up. It's a 5-3-2 formation. So, of course, they're going to be heavy in the middle, parking the bus in the middle, and then using their wings on the counterattacks to try to cause Barcelona some damage because, of course, when Barcelona push their lines forward, you always have the two center backs in the back. So Barcelona ends up forming kind of like an upside down triangle. So if you got two center backs here, you have the Barcelona's flanks completely exposed because, of course, our two fullbacks, they are always pushing forward. Koundé and Gerard Martin are going to be pushing forward. So it leaves those flanks really open for the counterattack. So given that Barcelona is going to be like an inverted triangle with the two center backs here at the top and then the rest of the players pushing in, attacking. Getafe is going to try to stop that by parking the bus through the middle. And then on the counterattack, they'll use their two fullbacks, or their two wingers, actually, I should say, in order to penetrate. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, that's always a good strategy against Barca, but, Getafe doesn't really have that much talented players. Their top scorer, I forgot his name, moved to the Premier League, so that has definitely caused, some headache for Bordalas. But nonetheless, Getafe, they're pretty effective with the little that they have. So this is definitely not going to be an easy match by whatsoever. It's going to be a tough match, but nonetheless, I expect, or at least I hope, Barcelona will emerge victorious. And let's do some comments as Getafe now are taking the ball. As Getafe have an out of bounds right now. Oliver says, "Hi Mo, I hope this will be a good match. Pizca Barca. I hope so too, my friend. Thank you for joining the live." Mantamanti says, "We need the 3 points." Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We cannot fall more behind than Real Madrid. We are, of course, we dropped 2 points. They haven't lost or drawn a single match. So they have, how many matches is in La Liga so far? This is the 5th one, right? So that means Real Madrid have 15. If we win today, we would have 13. So that looked very promising. Pedri opened it up to Gerard Martin. That was on the flank. Gerard Martin crossed it into the box to Ferran. Ferran took the shot, but it was blocked by Getafe's defense. So that looks promising, but that's what Barcelona need to do. They need to do quick passes to the wings, and then the wings cross into the box in order to overcome that block, that Getafe block that's going to be sitting right there in the middle of the field, just waiting for Barcelona and looking to close spaces, because of course Getafe, with the very limited resources that they have, they're not going to be looking to play one-on-one. They're not going to be looking to take the ball away from Barca. So instead, they let Barca have the ball and they just sit back and wait for it. So Barcelona going to have to, play with quick passes in order to try to overcome that school bus. Actually, that's a perfect description, because they're parking a bus and they're wearing yellow. So now, if you live in another country and your school buses are not yellow, I'm sorry, it's a bad preference. But here in the U.S., the school buses are yellow. Jorge Serra says it's going to be rough in the rain. Yeah, but it's going to be romantic as hell, you know what I'm saying? Everybody with the rain, play some slow music, it's gonna be romantic. Mark Harford says, "I hate watching these murder ball games." That's actually a really good way to describe a murder ball games. That's what Bordalas' team. Oh man, Eddie Garcia had the ball in the midfield. Rafinha made a run, but I don't think Eric saw it, or maybe he thought it wasn't really a too clear of a pass. He tried to pass it to Kunde. It got intercepted, went out of bounds. Kunde just played it to Frankie. Frankie to Eric. Eric opens it up to Christensen. And Christensen to Pedri. Pedri to Frankie. Frankie to Rafinha. Rafinha to the middle to Olmo. Gets intercepted, but Rafinha has it back. Now Pedri has it. Oh, good challenge by Lewy, but Getafe end up getting the ball, and there you go. That's what I said. They're just going to park the bus down the middle, and the counterattacks, they're going to go to their wingers. That's exactly what they just did. They won the ball back, passed to their right winger, but Christensen was there, alert, paying attention, as he always is. He never falls asleep, or at least I've never seen him fall asleep or like miss or lose concentration. Christensen is always on it. Unlike me, who I lose my attention all the time. My attention span is horrible. Not Christensen. Not Christensen. Jorge Serra says, the earlier we score, the better. Amen, my friend. One Diamond says, hello, guys. Hello, One Diamond. Thank you for joining the live. Jorge says, the ref got in the way. Yeah, screw that ref. Punch him in the face. Just kidding. That happens sometimes, unfortunately, The refs train on where to position themselves for A, better view, and B, to not be in the way. But, every now and then, unfortunately, you're just, a pass is going to come your way. A player is going to run into you. It happens. Jorge, my man, when are you going to agree to come as a guest on the channel, on the MoCast on Saturday? Let me know. If you're interested. Reply to the comment, to my post in community tab. Oh, good play by Rafinha, but he gets taken down. Barcelona were on the counter attack, but it gets stopped. Let's see. One Diamond says 3 points loading. Amen, my friend. Let me see if that was a foul. Oh, no. So Rafinha makes a quick switch to the left, but the Getafe defender had put his leg in the way, so Rafinha tries to jump over it, and in that jump, he ends up losing his balance. So that's why the ref did not call for a foul. And Shin says, time for 10 wins straight against these scrubs. Amen, my friend. Amen. And scrubs they are. And I don't know edits. Why don't you know edits, man? You should know edits. Says, yo, what's up, man? Oh, there's the bench. Man, look at that injured bench. That's crazy. All the talent on there. Lamine, Dro, Balde, Gabi. Oh, great pass by Rafinha to Lewy. Oh, Lewy. Oh, and they call a foul on Lewandowski, and Lewandowski says, hey, what you talking about? Hey, that was terrible. I try to do a Polish accent. I can't. I should stop. But that was promising. That was a really good pass from Rafinha, from Gotilla into the box. Let me see. Is this a foul? That was not a foul. Lewandowski's running with the ball. Getafe defender goes for the slide, gets the ball, and then his leg crashes into Lewandowski's leg as a result of the tackle, and the referee says it's a foul, but it was not. Oh, there we go. That looks promising. Pedri passed it to Ferran. Ferran tried to get past the defender, but he's not the greatest dribbler. So Getafe gets the ball. Now Getafe are attacking through the right. And Barcelona get the ball back. Ferran, he should have let Olmo keep the ball. I don't know why he took it away from him and then slowed the whole attack. Kunde to Olmo to Lewy. Lewy has 4 people on him. Back to Kunde to Pedri. Pedri opens it up to the left to Christensen. Christensen takes a few steps forward and then opens it up all the way to the left to Gerard. Gerard back to Christensen. Christensen to Pedri. Pedri to Ferran with a deep pass, but it gets intercepted. Pedri gets it back, tries to pass it back to Ferran, but Getafe's defense on it, man. I don't know if that is the right thing to try to do, pass the ball through the middle into the box, because, there are 5 Getafe defenders in the box. They're always going to be on it. So I think the better solution is going to be to, from the middle, open it up to the wings, and then the wings have crossed the ball real quick back into the box to try to surprise Getafe's defense. But let's see what else everyone is saying. Leo Folt says, big up Mose, big up Leo. Thank you for joining the watch along. Thank all of you for joining the watch along. I used to before watch the matches on my couch like this by myself, all boring. But now I get to watch it with you guys. There are 44 people watching. With me, that's 45. 45 people watching the match together is much better than just me by myself on my couch like this, belly out in the air, shirt all up, just a total slob. Oh, great pass by Coutinho into the box to Olmo. Olmo, heel pass to Ferran, and Ferran goal! Beautiful, beautiful play by Barcelona to open the scoreline. That's what I was talking about. We need quick passes, quick movement of the ball in order to overcome Getafe's defense. But great play with Rafinha with a quick pass into the box to Olmo, and Olmo with the beautiful back heel pass to Ferran Torres, and Ferran Torres right there by himself is able to push it in. Barcelona 1, Getafe 0, and here is the replay. I want to see the replay again. It starts with Frank de Jong, who opens it up to Rafinha on the right. Rafinha takes a couple of steps, and then beautiful pass to Olmo. Olmo with the back pass to Ferran, and Ferran right there by himself making the run into the box. All he has to do is push it in. Great play by Barcelona. And I have to say something. I'm noticing this season Barcelona have become much better against low block teams. Of course, it's too early in the season to tell, but these are the kind of plays that you need in order to overcome low block defenses. Quick movement of the ball in order to catch the defense out of position and exploit those spaces in order to score goals. Great goal by Barcelona. Ferran Torres, the shark, takes the first bite. Dark Knight says, hi from South Africa. This is my first time watching your live. Well, welcome, my friend, all the way from South Africa. That is pretty cool. Is it One? Says live stream website. Searching Google, Sagar TP Football. Oh, okay. Jorge Serra says, I just did, man. We were on yesterday. Oh, yeah, you were. Oh, my God. It's because, you know what, Jorge? I forget that you are Curious Jorge, and you're also Jorge Serra. So, my bad. Cass Brown says, who is the best player in the world? Me! Just kidding. Who is the best player in the world currently? I think it's Lamine Yamal. I don't know. Maybe I'm being biased because I'm a Barca fan, but I don't think there's anyone that can do what he does right now as far as his skill level, his dribbling, his vision, his passing. I mean, of course, there's Messi, but now Messi's at MLS, so I don't know if... I guess as long as Messi's active, he will always be the best in the world because he is the best in the world. But of course, since he is in MLS, we'll go with Lamine Yamal because, of course, they're competing at two different levels. Barca Mama says, hey, Mo, what's up, Barca Mama? And then Suf, Jorge, both say, goal. And Barca Mama says, beautiful. And Jorge also says, team play. Amen, my friend. That's the way to overcome these low block defenses. Great plays like that, moving the ball quickly. By the way, what a pass by Coutinho. Too bad it doesn't count as an assist because that was one hell of an assist. Well, pre-assist, I guess. That's what we can call it. Because that pass by Rafinha was absolutely masterclass. Masterclass. It's something that Rafinha does really well, by the way. That's how he overcomes his inability to dribble, is with his quick passing. Obviously, it's no Lamine Yamal passes, but nobody can do Lamine Yamal passes. But nonetheless, great pass by Coutinho into the box. And great thinking by Dani Olmo, because when Dani Olmo gets the ball, he's running out of space, right? If he tries to kick it, the angle is really tough. So instead, he does a heel pass back to Ferran, who's running straight into the box. Goal right in front of him. Right decision, quick thinking. And that's what I like about Olmo, right? Even though I've said multiple times that there was no need to buy him, but I've always, said he's incredibly talented player. And that's what you get with Olmo, that quick snap of the second decision. Oh, watch out. Getafe is taking an attack from the right, but there was Pedri to intercept the cross. But that's what Olmo gives you, really quick thinking. His thinking is always like split of a second, right away. He could do that. He has that ability as the ball is coming to him, look around, figure out where all his teammates are, where all the defenders are, and right away make a split-second decision on where he's going to put the ball, whether kick it or pass it or whatever, or make a run. And then as soon as the ball gets to him, he's already studied the situation, he's already analyzed it, he's already made a decision, and boom, he's ready to execute. And that is very, very difficult because to be able to think that quickly, that's a split of a second decision. And to be able not only to make that decision, but to make the right decision, something incredibly, incredibly difficult to do. And that's what Olmo gives you. Shin says, what a fucking play. Amen, my friend. Called CJ Messi says, hey, Mo, hopefully Rashford can keep going with the goals. Hopefully, we need that. We need that. But, we got to chill. We got to give him time. Yes, he had 2 brilliant goals against Newcastle. But it was not a brilliant match by him, right? You can see that he's still trying to adapt, right? He's still adapting. He's still learning his teammates. There's still a disconnect between him and his teammates, which is totally normal when you arrive in a new team. You have to get used to your teammates, develop that chemistry where you can understand what your teammate's trying to do without even him saying anything, right? I could just look at my team and be like, oh, I know exactly where he's going to go, or I know exactly what he's trying to do. That only comes with time. So that we need to give Rashford some time. We gotta give him some time. Manta says Ferran Ballon d'Or. Yes, amen. Shin said no one ever. And Tandeka with the shark. Oh, wait, is that an otter screaming? What is that? That looks so disturbing. Edward says, hi, Mo. Getafe, it looks like their lives depend on it. Go. Oh, it's someone's. Is it, what animal is that screaming goal? Who was it who said Flick trained them like an army drill instructor? I did not see those statements, but I'm guessing Flick was probably talking about Bordalas since that's their coach. Flick who says RN or no? Registered nurse? What's RN or no? And Ronald says, Mo, what's up, Brado? Who says, what's up, Mike? Ho, what's up, Brado? Thank you for joining the live. And Mantamante says, I'm trolling, of course. Hey, man, why not? I think the Ballon d'Or should be between Ferran and Gerard Maldini. Those should be our 2 contenders for the Ballon d'Or. And One Diamond says, more coming. Amen, my friend. Amen. And Ronald says, we got this. Yes, we do. We need more goals, though. We need more goals. So we can put this one away. Oh, good pass by Frankie. But it was intercepted by Barcelona's defense. Lewy has it back. Lewy passes it to Rafinha. Rafinha making a run. No, Rafinha, come on, bro. Rafinha tried to pass it and completely misses the ball. How you going to follow that beautiful pass to Olmo with that terrible mispass? Rafinha, come on, bro. Leo Ford says Ansu Fati braced today. Oh, okay. I did not see that. I only saw his goal against Club Brugge in the Champions League as Club Brugge beat Monaco 4-1. But I did not see the brace by Ansu. I got to go see it. Maybe Monaco has figured out a way to bring Ansu Fati back. Can you imagine if Ansu ends up recovering his form to what he was before the injuries? Wouldn't that be beautiful? Have Ansu. We would have Ansu on the left, Lamine on the right, and I don't know who's gonna replace Lewy through the middle, but that would be amazing. But I don't know if that ship has sailed. But let's see. Hopefully, if Ansu cannot become that magical player that he was, let's hope at least he has a good enough season to stay at Monaco. That way Monaco can finally, give us some money and we can, just close that chapter and move on. Cosadin says, Olmo magic plus shark attack. Coutinho magic too. Don't forget Coutinho. It all starts with him with a great pass into the box for Olmo and almost brilliant back pass to Ferran. So Coutinho too. Let's give him his flowers. Cosadin says, Ansu Fati, 2 goals actually. Well, that's what a brace is. It's 2 goals. Suf says, Mo, I don't know if it's true, but did you hear something about PSG boycotting Ballon d'Or? I haven't heard anything. I can't imagine PSG would. I see Madrid doing that. Why? Because they already did it last season. Even though they won everything else. I think Ancelotti won best coach and they won best club. And they had all these other awards that they won. But because the clown Vinicius was not going to win, they boycotted it and they didn't go, which just shows the sore losers, petulant children that they are. And I don't think they're going this season either, because of course this season they're not going to win anything. They didn't win anything last season, But no, I haven't heard about PSG boycotting. Taneka says that would be a dream. I almost choked. What would be a dream? PSG not going? I don't think it would make any difference. I mean, the winner is going to be the winner, right? Regardless of who attends. And Ronald says it was 4-1 for Bruges. Yes, in the Champions League was 4-1 for Bruges. But I think they're talking about the league. Let me see. Let's look up Monaco. Wait, not the Principality. AS Monaco. I hate Monaco and I get all these like pages. 5-2 against Metz, FC Metz. And Ansu Fati, a brace right there. So Mika Bierth opened the scoreline at the 28th minute. Ansu scored at the 46th and at the 83rd. There was an own goal by Metz. Kofi Kuau scored an own goal. I think that's how you say Kuau. Made his teammates say wow when he scored that own goal. That's a terrible joke. And then George Leniekena, whatever the fuck that was. He scored the fifth one at 93rd minute. So, yeah, 5-2. Monaco won today, braced by Ansu. And then, of course, Ansu got his debut goal against Club Bruges. Patrick says, how are you, M. Big Marshall doing, Mo? We're doing great, Patrick. It's good to see you in the chat section. I finished the M&Ms you got me. I'm very sad. But I did keep one. There we go. I kept one M&M because it's, it's Marshall's face on it. But I finished the rest. But thank you for this awesome gift. So it was very delicious and very, very thoughtful. And Ronald says, who drives a Cupra though? Nobody. Literally nobody. Except Barcelona players, and that's because they get those cars for free. I didn't even know that brand existed, Cupra, until Barcelona signed the partnership agreement with them, and the players started getting them. Because before it was Audi, and then they switched to Cupra. Can you imagine being a Barcelona player? Not like the top ones, because obviously you can drive whatever the hell you want. You're super rich, but maybe like the Barca B players who make it to the first team, and before they would get the free Audis, and you're like, hell yeah, Audi, let's go. And now it's like, yay, I get a Cupra. What the fuck is a Cupra? But I guess a free car is a free car. It doesn't really matter. Tandeka says, Ansu's recovery. Amen, my friend. And Mark says, I believe Ansu was subbed at half two. We can actually look that up. But hold on. Barcelona are building an attack right now. Gerard Maldini, great pass to Ferran. Ferran into the box, but there was nobody there, so it gets intercepted. But Gerard Maldini, man, with that deep pass to Ferran Torres on the left. Very nice, very nice. As you know, Gerard Maldini's his strength is not obviously the attack. He's a really good defender, but attack-wise, not so much. But he has been improving in the attack too. Let's see. Uzi Blas says, if Kvaratskhelia win the Ballon d'Or tomorrow over Dembele, France will be upside down. If anybody wins over Dembele, I think France will be upside down, because they really have their because when's the last time a French player won it? Benzema? Ooh, come on. How'd you miss that, Lewy? Damn, that was a great run by Pedri. Well, it was a pass from Olmo to Pedri. Pedri makes the run through the left, crosses it into Lewy. Lewy slides to try to push it in, but it was a little bit too far for him. But good play. Another good play. Again, it's like what I said at the beginning, right? We need those quick passes from the wings and then crosses into the box from the wings. And that's how the first goal came. This is how we almost got our second goal, but Pedri's pass was a little bit too off. And Lewandowski was not able to get to it. Ronald says, oh, nice to hear. The more he scores, the better. I barely or not watch League or follow. Yeah, I don't watch League because it's a terrible league. It's like, oh, PSG and then 19 farmer teams. Like, who cares? It's like, oh, PSG won. Wow, big surprise. Did not see that coming. But yeah. Oh, come on. Nobody read that. Pedri was driving the ball in the midfield, makes a deep pass, breaking Getafe's lines, but nobody read that play. Nobody ran for it. Everybody just stayed stagnant. Lewy, Ferran, Coutinho, Olmo. Barca Mama says, when did Will Wheaton start coaching in La Liga? That's a good question. Let's see. He really does look like Will Wheaton, but without the glasses. Wait, does Bordalas wear glasses? Oh, wait, I think Bordalas does wear glasses, but he does look like Will Wheaton. You're right. Uh, Olushola says, talking of Ansu Fati, what about his teammate Balotelli? What about him? Ronel says, I drive one, a Formentor. Wait, a Cupra Formentor? I don't even know what that is. Let me look it up. Cupra Formentor. Okay. Oh, okay. It's the one that the players get. Oh, wait. Ooh. Olmo, another pass to Lewy. Man, Olmo's on it today. Olmo is really active with the passes today. I think he's trying to gain his spot back. Cupra Formentor. It actually looks good. Actually, you know what? This is not the one that the players drive. This is the one that Laporta drives. I mean, he doesn't drive. He gets driven around. But I've seen Laporta several times in the city of Barcelona, like arriving in matches or leaving matches, and he's always going around in this one, in a Cupra Formentor. He gets driven around. The car is too small for him, honestly, because he always looks like he's just getting squished in there. And there's always four people in it. You know, there's the driver, there's someone in the front. I'm guessing it's security, and then there's always someone next to Laporta, Rafa Yuste, or someone else. But I have seen him getting in and out of the Formentor in the back seat. But wait, Ronald, where do you live? Because I don't think Cupra exists outside of Europe, if I'm not mistaken. Young Braveheart says, almost. Kostadin says, and PSG still managed to flop the league or cup occasionally. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how you do that. Maybe to keep it interesting, they just like lose on purpose. Like, hey, look, our league is because the league they actually have a hard time to find sponsors and broadcasters. Like nobody wants to buy the TV rights of the league because again, who the hell wants to watch that, right? So maybe they're just to keep it interesting and to keep the sponsors around and to keep the broadcasters interested in their TV rights. They're like, look, this year we lost. But in reality, it's a trash league. Young Braveheart says no. Lewandowski was offside. That's why he stopped. Okay, good catch. I did not see it. I was reading the comments, but good catch. Shin says I'd really like to see the 5-inch goal. Oh, 5-inch goal. What is wrong with me? 5 goals in 9 minutes version of Lewandowski just one more time before he hangs it up. That would be brilliant. Can you imagine Lewy scoring 5 goals in 9 minutes like he did back in what year was that? 2013, 2014. That'd be amazing. Like what? Can you imagine if he does that against Madrid? 5 goals in 9 minutes against Real Madrid. I mean, he has already scored. I think he scored a hat trick in the Champions League against Real Madrid. But can you imagine scoring 5 in 9 minutes against Madrid? That'd be hilarious. And it would be a great way to end his career in Europe, right? Because I can't imagine after this season, unless he renews with Barca, but I can't imagine him going to another European club. He'll be 38. He's probably gonna head to Saudi, where they're offering him a crap load of money. Maybe MLS. Can you imagine if Lewy links up with Messi? Oh, great play again. Olmo, man. Olmo's on it. Gerard Maldini passes it to... Oh, no. Yeah, it passes it to Olmo. Olmo again with the quick release this time to Lewy. But it was a little bit... The pass was a little bit off. Ends up going outside. And it's a goal kick for Getafe. Edward says, remember that Alba to Messi play where one would dink the ball into space and let the other run on it. I don't think any of the current players want to make that looks all 2 feet. I mean, I can see Balde making that play. Actually, I think Balde has done that already to Lewy, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean that Alba Messi combination was very fruitful and nice to watch. Also, the Dani Alves, Mr. Rapist, and Messi combination, that was also a really good one. But Unlike Alves, Jordi Alba didn't rape anyone, so we'll keep the Jordi Alba Messi competition better. Let's see. Oh, long pass to Rafinha, but he's definitely offside. Rafinha to Ferran, hand to hand with the goalkeeper, and goal. But I'm pretty sure Rafinha was offside. Yeah, it's offside. I mean, even Rafinha knows he's offside. He hesitates to engage in the play. Wait, is it counting? I saw Rafinha was being. Wait, it's counting for now. I want to see the replay, but I saw Rafinha offside. But for now, it's counting. For now, they're saying 2-0. So I'm putting it up 2-0. Let me see the replay. Oh no, he's not offside. Rafinha takes off from the Barca's middle, so he's not offside. By himself, opens it up to Ferran, leaves him hand to hand with the goalkeeper. And then, of course, Ferran puts that in the back. Let's go. 2-0. Barcelona 2, Getafe 0. A brace by Ferran Torres, the Shark. That was a great quick pass on the counterattack. It's usually Getafe that parks the bus and relies on those long passes on a counterattack. But this time it was actually Barcelona, right? Getafe were all attacking. They have to. They're down 1-0. They're running. So they're all out in the attack. And then the long pass, I think it was from Eric Garcia, if I'm not mistaken, that puts that long pass into Rafinha, who all he has to do is just a quick touch to Ferran Torres, leaving him hand to hand with the goalkeeper, and Ferran buries it. Let's go. 2-0. I really thought Rafinha was offside, but no, Rafinha took off from Barcelona's half. So, it's not an offside. Great play again. Those punishing passes that just break all of Getafe's lines. That's the way to beat these low block defenses. Ronald says, I'm from Belgium. Also, there's a new sea fermenter version facelift. Okay, Belgium. Yeah, I don't think the Coopers exist outside of Europe, or at least I haven't seen them. They're definitely not here in the U.S., and I've traveled a lot through Latin America, and I've never seen them there either. It's mostly Chinese cars now in Latin America. Chinese brands have really taken over. And I haven't seen him in Asia, but I haven't been to too many countries in Asia. So, but yeah, I've never seen him outside of Europe. Patrick says, it's great to hear. Not easy to watch all the streams because of the time gap. I'll try and say hello every now and then. Have a good Sunday. Thank you, my friend. Have a good Sunday to you too. Say hello to the missus. Miss you guys. I definitely enjoyed having you here. And Edward says, Gotinha asked for the 10 yards and then kicked the ball before the retreat was made and asked for a whistle yellow card. Nice. Everybody confirming that it's legit, that it's a goal. Justice says we have to win the match before halftime. We're off to a good start, 2-0. I think a 3-0 lead would be comfortable one. Getafe is not... Getafe's only power is to disrupt your play and prevent you from scoring. So if you're able to score, you're in good standing, because Getafe is not really a team with capable players that can punish you as far as scoring. The best they can hope for is a draw. Oh, Christensen is bleeding from his lip. So the best, they can hope for is a draw, because they try to disrupt your scoring ability. But if you can manage to score a few goals, the chances of Getafe making a comeback are very, very low. So if Barcelona can score a third one, I think this one would be put away early. And, it's always good to put matches away early, because, remember, we have a very hectic calendar. We have a match every 3-4 days. Oh, Koundé with a great run opens it up to Rafinha, but the pass was too long. But we have a very hectic calendar. We have Real Oviedo halfway through the week. Then we have Real Sociedad on the weekend. Then we have PSG halfway through the week. Then we have another match on the weekend. Marcus Rashford is warming up. Let's see if he gets some minutes. So, yeah, given that the calendar is really hectic, it's always good to put games away early, because then you can take out your starters, and then put in your subs. That way your subs get minutes. They can, get the chance to showcase what they have. Your starters can get some rest. So it's always good to put matches away early. So if we could do this, maybe we can rest Gotinha and bring in Rooney Bardaji so he can get some minutes. Maybe we can rest Ferran, get some minutes for Rashford. Maybe we can rest Lewy. he, with Rashford in his place and keep Ferran, since Ferran hasn't really did not play that much against Newcastle. Who else? Maybe rest Pedri. Why not bring in Casado or someone? Draw in the place of Olmo. It's always good to put matches away early. You can rest your starters and you can give minutes to your subs. Let's see. Kostanin says, such a clean one-on-one. Amen, my friend. And Mantamantis says, Ferran, the great white shark. Costadin says, New Year, same Coutinho. Amen. I was worried a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I was worried. I was incredibly, incredibly happy with Coutinho's performance last season. But of course, the question always remained, was that a one-season wonder kind of player? Because before that, he had never had that kind of season, right? It's not like Rafinha was known for having those kind of seasons all the time. And you're like, well, he always has them, so he's going to continue to have them, right? Up to last season, he's never had that kind of season. Then last season, he has Ballon d'Or kind of season. And you're like, is he going to be a one-season wonder? But so far, we're seeing the same Coutinho from last season. And that's a good sign. That's a good sign because, you wouldn't want a one-season wonder player, especially not one who costs you 60 million, right? So good sign. Jorge says, what did I tell you about taking advantage of their flanks? Yeah, you have to. You have to. With low block teams, you have to. You can't go through the middle because that's where everybody's sitting, right? They have a line of 5 defenders, 3 midfielders, 2 attackers, but technically, Lewandowski takes the shot, but Getafe's goalkeeper manages to block it. And Lewandowski just got taken down by a Getafe defender, but the referee completely missed it, by the way, because it happened behind the referee, and Lewandowski did not have the ball. But Gerard Maldini to Olmo. Olmo takes the shot, but it goes way too wide. Way too wide. Ronald says, I feel a hat trick coming. Can you imagine? Excuse me. I got my allergies again. Oh, yeah. Yo, that's a booking. That's a straight-up booking. They just showed the replay. Sure, okay, Lewandowski doesn't have the ball, but, he goes and pushes him both arms, knocks him down to the ground. That's a booking. That should have been a yellow card to match his outfit. But I like your yellow kit. Boom! He's a yellow card to match it. Victor says, hi, Mo. What's up, Victor buddy? Welcome to the live. And Jorge says, we just scared another high line. And Olu Shola says, Madrid would be sweating with all Barca matches. I can imagine. Yeah, man. I've seen a little bit of Madrid play. By the way, I'm going to put this in the community tab, see if you guys are interested. But would you like me to do Real Madrid watch-alongs? Now, I know this is a Barca channel, but I've seen other content creators like Barca creators doing watch-along Madrid matches. I've seen Madrid content creators do Barca watch-along matches. Because, obviously they are the 2 most important teams in La Liga. They're 2 of the most important teams in the world. So let me know. Let me know. What do you guys think? Would you like me to do Real Madrid watch-alongs? It's going to be tough because their football is hellish, so boring. Oh, long pass to Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres! Ferran hits the post. Ferran looking for his hat trick, man. The shark. Talk about a shark attack in Barcelona. Let's see this play again. Long pass to Ferran Torres, who's able to beat the defenders. Takes a great shot. It was a great strike, but then it ends up hitting the top post. Ferran Torres barely misses his hat trick. By the way, great pass from Pedri. Pass from Barcelona's half into the back of Getafe's defenders, and then Ferran Torres was there to exploit that space, but unfortunately ends up hitting the post. Ferran Torres, man, he wants his hat trick. Victor says, let's press the like button, guys. This is Barca News. Thank you, my friend. Yes, hit that like button. Edward says, I think Dani Olmo has something to prove. Did you see how he looked on the bench after those 2 misses in the previous games? Yeah, no, Dani Olmo is really active today. He is like all over the place, helping with the defense, with the attack. Like he is just not even trying to hog the ball, like immediately trying to release the ball. And ooh, that was a really tough foul on Jules Kunde. My God, that guy just went in looking to break legs. That should be a booking. Did he get a yellow? That should be a booking. Okay. So I guess Bordalas got a yellow card, but his player, or was it his assistant coach that got the yellow card? But his player should get a booking too, because the way he went in there, full force, kicks with all his force, like, and then Kunde barely gets to get his leg out, thankfully. Otherwise, that could have easily been. Wait, who got a yellow card? Was it Araujo? Or was it one of the assistant coaches? That was dangerous play. That should have been a yellow. If Kunde doesn't, like, last second remove his leg, I mean, he could have broken it, man, because that was a nasty kick. But let's see. One Diamond says, more goal coming. Amen, my friend. Francis says, I'm happy that Barca has excellent first 11 and an excellent bench this season. This will prevent burnouts. 100%. We have a great team. We have a deep bench. Oh, great cross by Kunde into the box, but Rafinha ends up kicking it horribly, ends up clearing it instead of actually kicking it towards goal. But Barcelona still have the ball. This game's surprisingly a lot more fluid than most matches against Getafe. There hasn't been a lot of interruptions. There hasn't been a lot of time wasting, and that's because Barcelona have been able to move the ball quick. Right? So if you're constantly moving the ball quick and don't give Getafe any chance to like even touch the ball, even better. Gerard Maldini with the interception passes it to Olmo, but then Olmo ends up missing the ball, and then Getafe kick it out of bounds. But Edward says, heads up, Victor Benny. I always forget to hit the like button. Just hit it. Amen, my friends. Hit that like button. Hit it like it's... Never mind. I was going to say something very wrong, so I'm not going to say it. There are ladies in the chat section. Manta says, I want to see Laporta play as a striker just for fun. Now, you know what would be more funny? Laporta as a goalkeeper. I don't know why I feel like that would be hilarious. Because, as a goalkeeper, you have to dive a lot. And to see, Laporta just like diving with this big belly, I think it would be a pretty funny sight. But it would be cool. You know what? They should organize that. Maybe it could be a charity match. Another nasty kick on Kunde. When is the ref? Ooh, Rafinha pushing him from the back. See, this is what happens. When referees don't take action against nasty plays, this is what happens. The players continue to do nasty plays, nasty fouls. And of course, Barcelona players are going to get heated because they don't want to be getting kicked all the time. He's gotten kicked twice. The first one should have been a booking. It wasn't. So, of course, Getafe was like, all right, well, we can get away with that. So they did it again. Kunde gets super mad. Rafinha gets involved because, of course, he's mad too. He's seeing that his teammates are getting kicked. And this is a straight-up result of the referee not doing his job. Because when you allow this kind of crap to happen, it continues to happen. And players get injured, players get hurt, and fights break out because, of course, they're going to get mad. I would get mad too. If I'm getting kicked every 5 seconds and the referee's not doing anything, of course I'm going to get mad. And here we go, Getafe's tactics. Rafinha barely puts his hands on the Getafe player, and the guy drops like a sniper, just took out his freaking leg. Just disgusting, man. Disgusting. The day Getafe get relegated will be the day I celebrate because these kind of antics are not worthy of first division football. I'm sorry, but they're not. I've seen local teams behave better than Getafe does. Absolutely disgusting. Ronald says we should name Ferran Jaws now. Jaws Torres. I like that. Or Ferran Jaws. No, Jaws Torres better. I like Jaws Torres better. Pedri passed it to Olmo, but the pass was right to his feet. Ends up bouncing off them. One Diamond says, we need more goals. And Young Braveheart says, too much free foul on Lewandowski. And the Dark Knight says, I think he's winning Ballon d'Or tomorrow. Go Tinha. You know what? If he does, he would more than deserve it. But, I think it's between Lamine and Dembele. I have a feeling that Dembele is going to end up winning it. Even though I do think Lamine deserves it more than Dembele. Hell, Rafinha deserves it more than Dembele. Dembele, the first half of the season, even the PSG fans were pissed at him because he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't even starting because he was so terrible. It wasn't until January that Dembele starts to show up. And sure, he makes a great difference. He starts scoring goals, providing assists. He starts winning PSG matches. Nobody's denying that. But you gotta tell me that Dembele, a guy who performed for half a season, deserves the Ballon d'Or more than Lamine, more than Coutinho, who performed that entire season. Like, in what world is that? Does that make sense? Oh, hey, I'm just gonna, work half of my shift. I'm gonna show up, just work the last 4 hours, and my coworker who's been at the job the entire 8 hours working his ass off, and I'm gonna earn more than him. No, of course not. So I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But yeah, if Coutinho wins it, I mean, it would be more than deserved. Tandeka says, no, not really. No, not really. What? Francis says, woo. And Manta Mantis says, I would watch that Mo. Okay. Okay. I see where we at. I guess because I fell behind on the comments, but you're saying I would watch that in regards to a Real Madrid watch along. Okay. I'm gonna put it in the community tab. I'm gonna do a survey. If you guys want me to do it, I'll put it up for voting, and then whichever wins. Ronald says Ferran. And Francis says Freeman shot. Freeman shot. What's a Freeman shot? Barca Mama says so close. And Jorge says you should do the big games like the next game coming up. Okay. Shin says, never picked you for a hate watcher, Mo. I just want to give people what they want to see. And if people want to see it, I'll do it. Even though it's going to be very painful for me to do it, because I think Real Madrid's football is absolutely disastrous. It's horrible. It's boring. It's like Koeman's football or Xabi's football or even Valverde's football. Even though Valverde won us trophies, but it was really Messi who won us. But yeah, Real Madrid's football is just terrible. But hey, if you guys want me to do it, I'll do it. Mark says, I usually watch their games till it's clear they will win, so I'll be there with you until that happens. Okay. Francis says, Ferran Torres is on fire. It's Ferran Jaws. We've agreed on that. Ronald says, yes, it would be awesome if you would do watch along for Real Madrid or hate along. Oh, I like that. I can name it hate along. Man, Ronald, you're on fire today. First with the Jaws, now with the hate along. Maybe I should name him that, the hate along. Tandeka, but it wouldn't be really a hate along, because even though I would hate what I'm watching, I wouldn't be hating on Madrid because there's nothing to hate on because they're so terrible. But yeah, I like that. Tandeka says Getafe are crazy. Yeah. And Sapphire Manga says Getafe is having yellow card blessings. Yes, they are. They've the referee. I don't know if the referee forgot his cards at home, or he's kind of like trying to be a little bit more permissive. But if he continues to do that, Getafe players are going to continue to foul the way they foul, and things are going to get heated, and he's going to lose control of the match. Young Braveheart says, bro, what's up? These fouls is outrageous. I agree. Andeka says, Row. And One Diamond says, yellow card. Agree. Ronald says, assistant coach seems like. And Tandeka says, how was that not a booking? I agree 100% with you. All right, let's watch. They're showing the highlights of the match. So I want to watch the highlights. I wonder if Rashford's going to come in during the second half. We saw him warming up. But here's the goal. Frankie opens it up to Rafinha. Rafinha cuts in the middle and puts in a beautiful pass to Olmo. And Olmo with the great back heel pass to Ferran Torres, who just all he has to do is just put it in the net. But great combination. Great play by Barcelona to open a scoreline and make it 1-0 for Ferran Torres, the Shark. Great thinking by Olmo. And then here we go, the second goal. Olmo with the quick pass to Pedri. Oh, no. This was the miss. Pedri makes the run into the box, crosses it into Lewandowski, and then Lewandowski, the pass was a little bit too far for him. But if Lewandowski would have made a connection with that ball, that would have been a goal. And then here's the second goal, that long pass to Rafinha. Rafinha, easy pass to Ferran, and then Ferran, hand-to-hand with the goalkeeper, just buries it in the bottom left corner for Barcelona's 2-0. Who made the pass? I still can't figure out who made the pass to Coutinho. Was it Eddie Garcia? I think it was Eddie Garcia, but it's not too clear because they keep showing mostly the replay of Rafinha's pass to Ferran and Ferran's shot into the goal. But here we go. This was Lewandowski. Great. The way Lewandowski protects the ball with his back, by the way, and then makes the run, kicks the ball, but then a goalkeeper was there to block it. And then here's the long pass to Ferran Torres in the box. Ferran hits the post. I think this is like the fourth or fifth post, or third or fourth post that Ferran. That was a pass from Pedri that Ferran hits the post this season. Very unlucky. Very unlucky. Victor Benny says, Mo, what do you see? Do you see how one can relax to watch Barca games because we now have identity? Flick ball. Yeah, man. It's so refreshing to have a team with an identity. Where it's clear what the team is trying to do and continues to do it regardless of what's going on. It doesn't matter if the team is tied. Doesn't matter if the team is up 5-0. Doesn't matter if the team is down 5-0. Well, they haven't been down 5-0, but they continue to do it. And when you have a clear identity, when you have a clear plan on what to do, and you continue doing it no matter what happens, it works. Eventually, it works. And the other day in the comment section, someone was arguing with me about how Xavi was a great coach and Barcelona was great under him. And I'm like, hold on. Are we still on that topic? Because I thought we already moved on and we agreed that that was not a good era. But apparently there's people out there who still think that we were doing great. God help us. Mark says, I can't imagine Laporta dive in to save a but it would be funny, though. It would be funny to see. And Sapphire Manga says Flick is very upset. Yeah, of course he is. I mean, he's seen his players getting kicked and fouled, and the referees just letting it happen. Ronald says this game pretty wild. Yes, it is. Meji says yes, do it. Okay, we got 3 do-its for the watch along of Real Madrid. Tandeka says they are criminals. And Jorge says, Mo, my friend just got me the orange 3 kit with Rafinha for my birthday. Nice, man. That's pretty awesome. That's a really good gift. I need friends that can give me kits for gifts, man. Nobody gives me kits. All the kits I have, I've bought them. I only have 1 kit, my first Messi kit ever. That was a gift from an ex-girlfriend. And then every other kit after that, I've bought myself. No one's gotten me one. Mejila says, I do watch Madrid stream and he's funny and he makes good arguments. Who it is? Who is it? Let us know. Costadin says, the commentators I'm watching on my stream is a Real Madrid fanboy, but even he called them out for targeting Koundé so much. I mean, it's easier for them to call out other teams, but they'll never call out their own team when they do crap like that. Leo Ford says, they're going to say because he won the treble, but PSG won everything in League on almost every season. Yeah, I agree. Winning La Liga is much more difficult than winning the freaking league. And winning the Copa del Rey is a lot more difficult than winning Coupe de France, right? Because those are given pretty much. The season begins and PSG already has those 2 trophies in the pocket. So I agree. Uzi Blad says, that is why I bought Kvaratskhelia name over Dembele, because dude performed last year, was better, even though Dembele have the goal assist contribution. And Costadin says, honestly, hate watching is liked by the opposite team. I watched that Arab guy post game analysis of Barcelona and like to see him realize his team stands no chance. Marco says backline at 5 is anti-football. I know it's a strategy, but going out the pitch looking for a tie is disrespectful to your fan base. I agree, but at the same time, I kind of understand it because when you're a team like Getafe and your budget is the budget of Barcelona spent on toilet paper, right? There's so much you could do with what you have. So, unfortunately, you have to do that. But what I don't agree with is the dirty tactics. One thing is, okay, we're going to defend with all the team. But a whole other thing is, we're going to kick and we're going to foul and we're going to hold on to shirts. And when somebody touches us, we're going to go to the ground and pretend that a bulldozer just ran us over. And we're going to start fights and we're going to start arguments. That's different. That's 1,000,000% anti-football. And that is not okay. The parking of the bus, I don't like it because it makes the game not entertaining, right? But I understand it because unfortunately, some teams with such a small budget, how can you compete with a giant like Barca or Madrid or even Atletico Madrid? Even though they're not really a giant, but like a middle size, an average size human, not a giant. How do you compete? So I kind of get it. I'm not happy about it, but I kind of get it. But again, what I don't agree with is the dirty, disgusting tactics. Eugene says Ferran is on fire. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And Edward says, I may be self-centered or narcissistic, but every time I watch a Real Madrid game, they win. I never watch Real Madrid games. What is going on here with LY10? My friend, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your comments, but please, please, I ask you, don't spam the comment section. Don't worry, I'll read your comment. No need to spam. Shin says, if Laporta could even jump with a 1-inch vertical, I'd be shocked. That's why it'd be hilarious. I think. Could you imagine Laporta all chunky, like he's like, and just falls and rolls on the ground? I mean, it's horrible, but it would be funny. It would be funny. Edward says, I thought only Cubarsí made diagonal passes from the back line to the front. More of that, please. No, Eddie Garcia is also good at that because, academy product, man. Academy, that's what they teach these defenders since they're little kids. Christensen, we've seen Christensen does have good passing too. I don't know if it's as good as Cubarsí's or Eric, but definitely much better than Araujo's, right? But Christensen, he can also make some good passes from the back. Golden P says we are really controlling the game. Yes, we're actually controlling this game much better than any previous Getafe match. Like, I mean, usually we're always have the possession of the ball against Getafe because Getafe, that's what they do. They let you have the ball. They're like, here, we're just gonna park the bus, defend, interrupt the flow of the match with our disgusting tactics, and every now and then long pass to our wingers in hopes that we can score a goal on a counterattack, right? That's what they do. So we usually do have possession of the ball or control of the match, but we struggle to break their defense. Today, we're having possession, we're breaking their defense, we're scoring goals. This has been one of the best matches, actually the best match against Getafe in a while. And again, not because they're an amazing team, it's just the way they play. Raul says, Getafe are a very disgraceful club. As far as I'm concerned, our players should not play according to their plan. Great performance by all the players, and I want more goals in the second half. Visca Barça. I agree 100% with you, my friend. Visca Barça. Golden P. Wait. Golden P. It's not good. Not good. Might consider changing your name. You might get accused of golden showers, handing out golden showers. But Golden P says Pedri is cooking the midfield. Pedri is always cooking the midfield. I mean, at this point, I should just call him Chef Pedri because he's always cooking. And LY10 says, Barca News, what's your prediction? I don't do predictions. That's my rule. But I'll definitely listen to you guys' predictions. And LY10 says, Getafe are disrespectful. Yes, they are. And Muhammad Omar says, Assalamu alaikum, Mo. Hope you're doing well. You see why we needed Olmo now. Visca Barça. Again, people keep misinterpreting what I say. Is Olmo good? Yes. Can he contribute? 100%. But did we need him? And that's a completely two different things, right? Two different things. Did we need him? No. Why? Because we had a lot of people in that position. More importantly, we did not have the money to pay for him. And more importantly, we did not have the space on the wage bill to register him. Remember, we had to sell seats. Okay? We had to sell seats to register him. And until this day, we can't even use that money. Did we need to do that? No. We paid 60 million for Olmo, plus the 100 million euros that we had to sell seats. Because yes, we made the 100 million from those seats, but by selling the rights to those seats, you're losing money because at the end of the day, you could have made more money by keeping the seats, right? You're not going to make more money by selling the seats because that means you would have to charge more than what those seats would make you, and nobody's going to buy that because whoever buys that, they're going to lose money, right? Because if they're paying more than what the seat can make you, you're going to make less than what you paid and you're going to lose money. So you have to sell the seats for less than what they would make you. So we lost money on selling the seats, plus the 60 we paid for Olmo, all that for a position that was more than covered. So again, this is not about the player. This is about, did we need another attacking midfielder? Did we need to pay 60 million? Did we need to sell clubs' assets for an attacking midfielder? No. Had we done that on the left winger, I would have been like, okay, I understand, right? Not the best thing to do, pay 60 million that you don't have and sell clubs' assets to register a player, but we needed a left winger because we had zero left wingers. But when we're talking about having a stacked midfield to the point where midfielders are leaving the club because it's so stacked, and you do that, that's just nonsensical. So it has nothing to do with Olmo. And this does not, Olmo can go on and finish the season with 50 goals and 50 assists. It's still not going to change the fact that we did not need to do what we did to bring him to the club. It's just not financially prudent. It's not. Is Donnarumma a great goalkeeper? Yes, 100%. I saw his match today against Arsenal, and he was making saves like crazy. He was one of the main reasons PSG won the Champions League, for his saves. But should we go and spend 60 million on Donnarumma and sell club's assets to register him? No, because we have Joan Garcia and Chesney and Ter Stegen and Diego Cochen. You see my point? This is not anything. This is not to say Donnarumma sucks. It's just, do we need him? No. And if we sign him and he ends up having great matches, do we get to say, oh, look, see, I told you we need? No, we still don't need him. It has nothing to do about performance. It has everything to do with the fact that that position was more than stacked, and we didn't have the money to sign Olmo, and we didn't have the space in the registration. So, do I see why we needed Olmo? Absolutely not. Even if he ends up with 50 goals and 50 assists, it's not going to change the fact that it was not a prudent thing to do. Anyways, Marcus Rashford is coming in for Coutinho. I like that. Not because Coutinho was doing bad or anything like that, but because Coutinho needs rest. Coutinho played against Newcastle 3 days ago. He's ran a lot during the first half. I like this. And this is why I was saying, right? If we can score another goal, that'd be amazing. Because the earlier you can put a match away, the better it is, because you can rest your starters, you can bring in substitutes so they can get minutes and showcase their skills. So I like when we can put away matches early on, because it allows you to do that, especially in such a tight, compact calendar, because we have another midweek match against Real Oviedo. We have a weekend match against Real Sociedad, then another midweek match against PSG. So it's a match every 3-4 days. So I like when we put matches away early, because now we can rest our players right now. Coutinho just came out. Rashford's going to come in his place. I like that. Again, not because Coutinho was doing bad, not at all, but because now he gets to rest. But we're about to get kickoff in the second half. It's Barcelona's ball. I'm just waiting for the referee to blow the whistle so I can start my timer, because I hate when my timer is off sync. Referee is waiting for the VAR clear. He's listening to his speaker or to his headphone. Looks like Ferran Torres is going to be in charge of the kickoff. Getafe made some substitutions too. And there we go. We have kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. Barcelona's ball. It's 2-0. Hopefully we can expand the lead, and then we can see some more substitutes come in and get some minutes. Maybe Rooney Bardarji. It would be nice to rest maybe Ferran. Or even Ferran go into 9 and Lewandowski come out, and then Rooney Bardarji start playing on the right. That'd be nice. It'd be cool to see Pedri rest. Pedri played 90 minutes against Newcastle, so it'd be nice to see him get some rest. Maybe who else could need some rest? Koundé, but the problem with Koundé is who do you put in his place? Maybe move Eric Garcia to the right in the place of Koundé, so Koundé can rest, and then bring in Ronald Araujo in the place of Eric. That could be an option. But we'll see. And maybe, I don't know if Olmo needs rest, because he hasn't really been starting. So Olmo could probably finish the match, but maybe to keep Fermin in the loop, maybe bring him in a few minutes just so he can stay, in competitive rhythm. Oh, Gold Seja, I clicked on your comment and I didn't even read it. I wish people would realize spamming gets you nowhere, and I was worried with Barca facing Kefau, and it's the same every time, but happy to see we're up to 0. Yeah, no, this match, Barcelona are doing much better against Getafe than they have in the past. So I really like what I'm seeing right now. And there's Coutinho on the bench right next to Tony Fernandez. Edward Hamilton says, does anyone think Vinny Jr. would have bought all his teammates congratulatory Rolexes if it had not been intimidated him that he'd won the Ballon d'Or? You know what? I'll say this about Vinicius Jr. I think what Madrid did, great interception by Pedri, but then terrible follow-up pass, and Getafe win the ball back. I think Madrid did a terrible thing in what's called in boycotting the Ballon d'Or when they found out that he wasn't going to win, because Vinicius was already a diva. We know that. But in doing that, you're continuing to support his diva-like behavior. And we saw that his behavior got worse on the field that season. What Real Madrid should have done is set an example for him and say, look, we're sorry you didn't win, but we need to go because it's a respectful thing to do. We're going to go there. We're going to smile. We're going to congratulate the winner because that's what a decent human being does. And be an example. Oh, did you guys see that? Oh my God. I saw that in Getafe with the shot on goal, but it goes a little bit wide. Good pass into the middle, bounces off to Kunde, falls to the Getafe attacker, and then he takes the kick. The ball curves, but thankfully it goes wide. Oh my God, I saw that in. But anyways, like I was saying, what Madrid should have been is been an example to Vini versus supporting his shitty behavior. Let's see. We got to catch up. Curtis Charles says, do we need Olmo? Yes. Olmo and Firmino are the only true number 10s, and we need 2 for rotation. So in my opinion, he is needed. No, Pedri can play there too. As you know, Pedri is actually, I like Pedri more in the number 10. That's where he plays in Spain. Let's not forget, Pedri won the Euros with Spain in the number 10. It wasn't until he got injured that Olmo started playing in his place, because Pedri is a great attacking midfielder. It allows him to score more goals when he's playing as an attacking midfielder. And we saw that remember his goal against, was it Turkey? Yeah, against Turkey. Then even his goals with Barca, it's always been when he played a more advanced role. So Pedri in attacking midfield, not only can he do what he does already in a double pivot, which is circulate the ball, but he can also score goals. So that's not true that Olmo and Fermin are the only number 10s. Pedri is too. Remember Pablo Torre? Also, why did Pablo Torre leave? Because no spots. And Rafinha can play in that position too. So it's not true that they are the only 2 number 10s. Far from it. Shin says, I'm trying to find me a Champions League trophy and a Liga trophy for my fan cave. Nothing huge. I'm sure that there's somewhere online replicas, but I would try to maybe 3D print it. That's an option. Isaac says, I'm not mad about the 45 mil we used to buy Ferran no more. If he, it was actually 55 mil. If he continues like this, bro, is late steal we got right there. No, I think 55 mil for Ferran was still a lot of money, regardless of how many goals he ends up scoring. His skill level just does not match the 55 mil that we invested in him. Not to mention, wow, corner kick into the box, Getafe player with the header, but Juan Garcia was there to block the shot. But as I was saying, 55 mil for Ferran is a lot. 55 is a lot. Let's not forget, for 2.5 seasons, Ferran was a ghost, nowhere to be found. So that's, I think he was signed for 5 seasons, right? And 55 divided by 5 is 11 million per season. So for 2.5 seasons, he didn't do anything. So that means we lost 28.5 million euros on his signing during those 2.5 seasons. So is it a steal? Hell no. Far from it. It's actually a waste of money. Kay says, those stadium pictures are lit, but they cropped some parts, so we are not seeing the roofing in other places where Ferran, Barniol, and other bloggers do show. Yeah, of course, they're not going to show you what's unfinished. They're going to show you what's finished. But yeah, I did like the video. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, Barcelona yesterday posted a video of the Camp Nou. Oh, Gerard Maldini crossed into the box. Lewandowski! Great pass by great cross by Gerard Maldini into the box. Lewandowski brings it down beautifully with his chest and then kicks the ball, but it goes over the goal. I think the goalkeeper puts a touch on it, and either way, it was offside. But nonetheless, beautiful pass by Gerard Maldini and beautiful control by Lewandowski with his chest, but he was offside. Isaac says, Bo, can a new president rescind that $100 million seat? If not, reduce it at least, because it's for 30 years. It's so dumb. Can we even buy ourselves out of that crap of a deal. Can you rescind it? No, because when you sign a contract, contract is enforceable, and you can't just single-handedly rescind it. Now, as far as buying it back, if there is a clause in the contract that allows you to buy back the seats, maybe. I know, for example, when Barcelona sold their TV rights, they do have a clause in that contract that would allow Barcelona to buy back those that how much was it? 25%, I think, of TV rights. Or I think it was 25% if I remember correctly, or 49%. I can't remember the exact percentage, but Barcelona sold a percentage of their TV rights back when they were activating the economic levers. In that contract for the TV rights, it was for 20 years or 25 years. And in it, it did have a clause that Barcelona could buy back that percentage. As far as the seats, I don't know if that clause exists. So if it does, obviously you can. But no, you can't single-handedly rescind the contract. You can try to renegotiate it, but it's completely up to the other party too. You cannot single-handedly modify a contract. You cannot single-handedly rescind the contract without the approval of the other party. If the other investor says, okay, yeah, sure, let's reduce it, or okay, yeah, sure, let's cancel it, then you can. But my guess is they're not, because they got one hell of a deal, because Laporta was desperate to try to sell those seats as fast as possible to register Olmo, because the deadline was looming. So they had one hell of a deal. I don't see why the investors would want to go back on that deal when they got a steal. If someone comes and sells you a Ferrari for $10,000, you buy it, and then he comes back, it's like, wait, I want more money, or give me back my car. You're like, no, F you. You're the one who messed up. You got me one hell of a deal. I'm keeping this deal. Shin, no, says I'm out, bro. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't go, bro. Don't go. Thank you, Shin, for sharing these first 53 minutes. But you too enjoy your weekend, and I guess I'll see you in the podcast on Monday. The Dark Knight says Rashford and the Shark gonna go crazy. I hope so. I hope so. It'd be nice if Ferran can score his hat trick, and then maybe Rashford put in another goal or two. That'd be cool. Even Olmo. I would like to see Olmo score a goal. I think he deserves it. He's been very active. He's had a really good impact on the match. His passing has been off the charts. So it would be nice if Olmo can get a goal. Oh, there goes Rashford. Koundé, come on, bro. Koundé held the ball for too long. Koundé was driving the ball forward. Rashford was making the run. He was beating the defenders, but then Koundé took too long. Eventually got the ball stolen from him. Even had he not gotten the ball stolen from him, Rashford was already offside because just Koundé took way too long. But, I'm not here to crap on Koundé. Koundé's been amazing since last season. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. It'd be nice if Ferran can get a hat trick. It'd be nice if Olmo can get a goal. He deserves it with his performance so far. And, if Rashford can put up another goal to gain more confidence, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. Barca fan says, hey, yo, what's up, Barca fan? Thank you for joining and for your comment. Barca fan says, greetings. Greetings, my friend. And with the Trinidad and Tobago flag, let's go. Wow, I'm having a huge brain fart. The Caribbean in the house. Forgot the word Caribbean. God help me. Marcus Rashford. Oh, pass to Rashford, but it does get intercepted. So Rashford is playing on the right. That's interesting. I would have expected, since Coutinho came out, for Ferran to switch to the right and Rashford to play on the left, since that's where he naturally plays. But Rashford is actually on the right and Ferran is staying on the left. My guess is because, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And given that Ferran has been phenomenal today on the left, then why switch him? Maybe that's the thinking behind it. Frankie with the drive passes it to Ferran, but Ferran gets the ball taken away from him. I swear, man, Ferran will score you some amazing goals, and then he goes and does some silly things like the ball, like the way they took the ball away from him. It was like taking candy from a little kid. But anyways, I don't want to talk crap about Ferran. He's having a spectacular match, and he scored us the 2 goals. So I'm not gonna say anything bad. Hamad Omar says, can you imagine if Mbappe win the Ballon d'Or this year? What would happen and how Madridistas will react? I mean, if Mbappe wins it, I think the Ballon d'Or would for sure lose its credibility because, I mean, Madrid didn't win anything. Mbappe also had a first terrible half of the season, like Dembele. And then, yeah, the second half of the season, he got unleashed. But, goal scoring wise, yeah, he was great. But as far as his contribution on the field, Mbappe is not someone like, let's say, Dembele, who comes back down and helps with the defense, who helps with the high press. Mbappe is always is a goal poacher, or at least he was a goal poacher last season. So goal scoring, great. Yeah, he scored a lot of goals. But besides that, he wasn't really contributing more than that to Madrid. Not to mention, again, first half of the season, he was struggling to adapt. And so, yeah, I mean, if he wins the Ballon d'Or, I think the Ballon d'Or would lose its credibility for sure. And Edward Hamilton says, when Rashford was at Man U, I always kind of felt that he was playing a tick faster than his teammates. I think he'll do great under a Flick team. Yeah, I mean, the Premier is different, right? And the Premier is a lot more fast paced. And that's the kind of football that Rashford is used to, right? Fast pace, deep runs to the back of the defenders. I think he's great at that. And I think that's why he was able to shine a little bit more against Newcastle than he has in La Liga so far. Because in La Liga, there's a lot of... Oh, another foul on Lewandowski, man. That was totally okay, at least he got booked this time. But that was on purpose. I mean, he pretended that he was, I'm just taking a step. But he stepped on Lewandowski on purpose. Oh, Casado's coming, so that's good. That means Pedri or Frankie are going to rest. I hope it's Pedri because... Oh, and Fermin is coming, so maybe both. But I said I hope Pedri because Frankie did have a one-match rest due to his injury, when he came back. Actually, two-match rest, right? Because he only played one FIFA International break match. And then he missed the second one. Then he missed the match against Valencia. So he has more rest versus Pedri, who's played every single match since the beginning of the season, both for country and club. But let's look at this free kick, who Rashford is going to take. It's like a third out from goal. The ball is kind of in front of goal, a little bit more to the right. But Rashford's about to take this. Olmo's there too, but I think it's going to be Rashford. Oh, nope, it's Olmo. Ooh, Olmo takes the shot, and it ends up going too high. I really thought Rashford was going to take it the way he was like positioning himself, but it ends up being Olmo. Good shot, by the way. It gets past the wall, straight on goal, but then in the last second, the ball just takes some height, and then it goes up. It looks like Ferran is coming out, I think, if I see that correctly. Yep, Ferran Torres is coming out. Fermin is coming in for him. So Ferran getting rested. Great match by Ferran Torres. A brace by the Shark. By his official name now is Jaz Torres. And I guess he's not going to get a hat trick. That's a shame. I would have loved to see him get a hat trick after those two goals, after hitting the post. Frankie de Jong coming off. So Frankie getting some rest. Again, I would have preferred to see Pedri get some rest because Pedri has played 90 minutes of every single match for club and country, while Frankie got a little more rest. He didn't play the second match with the Netherlands. He also didn't play the match against Valencia. But hey, it is what it is. At least Ferran's gonna get some rest. Frankie's gonna get some rest. And we have Marc Casado taking the place of Frankie. So it's gonna be Casado and Pedri in a double pivot. And Fermin coming in for Ferran, which means Fermin is going to play on the left wing. Of course, a position he has played in the past. And Prince says it is obviously a Barca player winning it to coincide Madrid won't attend as a PSG game being postponed. And Safar says, finally, Abkar has been kicking Lewa. Yeah, he has finally got booked. Like I said, if the ref doesn't do something, that's going to keep on happening. And that's not going to stop until the freaking ref does something about it, But anyways. Let's see. There was a cross into the box, and Gerard Maldini was there to head it out. All right. Captain Falcon Main 65 says, nice glasses. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. There was a wide a pass. Getafe opened it up to the left to their winger, who was making a deep run, but he ran out of ground and the ball ended up going out. So now it's a goal kick for Barcelona. Joan Garcia, man, he hasn't had a lot of work to do today. He had a one shot on goal, which he saved. But besides that, he's been chilling. Oh, long pass to Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford is making the run from the right to the makes a pass to Olmo. Goal! Let's go! Great counter attack by Barcelona as Getafe was going all out. Of course, they have to. They're down 0-2. Getafe with the attack. All their players were advanced in Barcelona's half. Comes the long pass to Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford makes the run into the box, passes the ball to the penalty spot, and there was Olmo making the run from second line and puts it in. A very well-deserved goal for Olmo, who's had a spectacular match, starting with his assist for Barcelona's first goal to Ferran Torres, and of course, everything else that Olmo has been doing. Very, very active. Great pass by Marc Casado. You know, this is his signature forward pass that breaks lines from Barcelona's third, and then Rashford puts it back to Olmo. I think Fermin Lopez was also making that run. Yeah, I think it was Fermin Lopez who was also making the run, but Olmo gets to it first. Very well-deserved goal by Olmo, who's having a spectacular match. You know, he saw Fermin Lopez get that great match against Valencia, and Olmo said, I'm going to make, oh, someone got a red card. Someone from Getafe's, looks like the assistant coach just got a red card. But, you know, Olmo saw Fermin Lopez's performance against Valencia, and he said, I see your good performance. I'm going to raise you 1-2 and make Hansi Flick's job that much more difficult, because now Flick is going to have to go back to the board again and try to figure out who's his starting attacking midfielder. I don't think Flick knows. But great goal, great play. Again, key to beating these low block defenses. Fast passes to the wings and then surgical crosses into the box. That's how the first and the third goal came. And the second goal, how was the second goal? The second goal was quick passing too, but it did not come from the wings. But great match by Barcelona, who are completely dismantling, dominating, and beating Getafe. Masuba says the Ballon d'Or has already lost its credibility over the last 2 decades. It has become a popularity contest now. I don't think so. Captain Falcon says, how often do you think about the MSN days? You know what? I love the MSN days, obviously, but I miss more the Pep Guardiola days. Not to say that the MSN days were not great. Of course they were. I mean, it was just a festival of goals with the MSN. I mean, it was like Neymar goal, Messi goal, Suarez goal, Messi goal, Suarez goal, Neymar goal, go. I mean, it was such a joy to watch. The MSN was such a joy to watch. But I miss the Pep Guardiola days more. The tiki-taka with Xavi, Iniesta, and Messi. The way they would, and Busquets, the way they would just drive their opponents crazy with the triangulation, with the quick passes. I mean, it would get to the point where you could see the defeat in the opponent's eyes, where the opponent players were just like, I don't know what to do. Like, no matter how fast I run, how hard I run, no matter what I do, there's nothing I could do to take the ball away from them. So I don't know what to do. And you can see the defeat as it sets in the opposing teams, where they're like, I don't know what to do. I've tried everything. I've given it my all, and there's just no way we can take the ball away from them. So you could just see the defeat setting in. I mean, the Pep Guardiola years where it really shaped football. It changed how other teams played. You know, good coaches change how their teams play for the good. And then there's great coaches like Pep who not only change how their teams plays, but they change how the rest of Europe or the rest of the world play, because everybody had to adapt to Barcelona's tiki-taka. Every coach out there had to sit down, go back to the drawing boards and say, how the hell do we stop this? And Pep not only shaped Barcelona, but he shaped European football, because everybody had to adapt to how he played. I really miss those years. But yeah, let me see. Let me do something real quick. I need to write something down. Let me see. Okay. The Dark Knight says, hey, Moat. I like that. Any idea on when Yamal will be back? Of course, I want us to be cautious with him, but I miss Yamal ball. Also wanted the Shark to get that hat trick. Yeah. Oh, there's Yamal actually. As we're talking about it, they just showed him on screen, sitting with the rest of the injured players. But the goal is for Yamal to come back by the PSG match. Let's see. A lot of people celebrating the goal on the chat section. I like it. Captain says, this is why I love this team. Amen. Everybody scores on this team. That's what's great about it. While Madrid, the only player that scores for them is Mbappe. Here everybody scores. Lewy, Ferran, Coutinho, Rashford, Olmo, Fermin. Oh, great run by Marcus Rashford, who was making a run on the right, cuts into the middle, into the box, puts a shot on goal, but Getafe's goalkeeper was there to block it. Great shot by Marcus Rashford. The Dark Knight says Olmo is on. I'm guessing that's fire tonight. Oh, no funny business tonight. I don't know why my software doesn't show this emojis, but thank you, my friend, for your comment. And Constantine says, by the way, did you guys saw there was a streaker during the goal? Oh, I did not see that. That is hilarious. I guess this stadium is much easier to do it because it's so much smaller and closer to the pitch. But that is hilarious. Rashford with the ball on the right, passes it to Kunde. I think Kunde was offside. Maybe not. Prince says, bro, did you watch Gian Virgili today? He cooked Atletico's defense and even got an assist today. I'm sure Barca will activate the buyback clause soon. I did not see it, but thank you for letting me know. I will definitely go back and watch the highlights. And now, speaking of matches, back to this match because Olmo just got taken down at the edge of the box. Maybe 2 inches more, and that could have been a penalty kick. Not that we need it. We're up 3-0. We're completely dominating Getafe. But Dani Olmo getting taken down at the right at the edge of the box. Free kick for Barcelona. Let's see who takes it. Man, I used to get so excited for free kicks when we had Messi because you're like, you knew something was about to happen. There's a good chance of scoring a goal. Even if it wasn't Messi, maybe he would put some great cross into the box that someone would push it in. But now it's kind of like, I guess, free kick, I'll take it. But Dani Olmo is going to take this one. Come on, Olmo. Come on. Ooh, hits the wall. Francis says, Gerard, I don't know who that is, man. It's Gerard Maldini, bro. Get it right. Gerard Martin has developed so much and very confident now. No one believed in him before. I agree. Gerard Maldini he's only kept getting better and better and better and better. And I'm very happy with him. He's a great, great substitute for Alejandro Balde. Before, when Balde would get injured, you were like, crap, who we're going to put in? We're screwed. Now it's like, Alejandro Balde is injured. Okay, crap, he sucks. It sucks because he's amazing. But that's okay. We have Gerard Maldini. He's not as good as Balde, of course, but he's still good enough to where you're not worried. You're not, oh my God, what are we going to do? Leo Ford says, Flick for Coach of the Year. Amen. I think Flick deserves the Johan Cruyff Award. I think that's what's called for the best coach at the Ballon d'Or ceremony. Oh my God, my arm hurts so bad. I had a really tough workout yesterday, and my bicep is just like so sore. I can't even stretch my arm. Let's see. Prince says, bro, I hope Lamine won't be fit for the international. Oh, so that insecure moron doesn't call him. You know what? I hadn't thought about that because the goal was for Lamine to come back by PSG, which I don't know. Yeah, on one hand, I don't want them to call Lamine to the international break, but at the same time, I want him. It'd be nice to have him for PSG because we were gonna. It's better to face PSG with our starting 11, right? I mean, I think we could still get by without him. As we've seen, this team can function with or without Lamine. But it would be nice to have him against PSG because, of course, PSG right now, Champions League winners. They're the best team in Europe right now. Young Braveheart says, good play. Good match. Good match. Leo says, speaking of Atleti, do you think Simeone time at Atleti is done? Yeah. Man, Simeone. He's the highest paid member of Atletico Madrid. He earns more than the players. It's crazy. I don't know why. I never liked his style. And I feel like even during his good seasons, it always starts out promising or it starts out weak and then becomes promising. But at some point, they fall off. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I think so. I think Atletico Madrid needs something, some fresh. Oh, Gerard Maldini to Fermin. Fermin takes on a defender, making a right through, cuts it to the box. Ooh, Fermin, bro. Fermin. Great run by Fermin, who was making a run from the left, takes on a defender, cuts into the onto the inside, makes a successful run into the box, but then I don't know why he decides to take a shot. It's like he should have passed it to the penalty spot for someone else, whether it be Rashford or someone else, to take the shot. Fermin Lopez got a little bit too greedy with that one. Jorge Cerda says the competition in the squad is amazing. No better look than our defense, Christensen and Garcia, making it even more difficult for Flick. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they haven't had much work to do, but the few work that they've had to do, I think Eric and Christensen have been on it. So yeah, we have many pairings. We have the Eric Pau, we have the Pau Araujo, the Pau Christensen. We still haven't seen Eric and Araujo, but so far we've had some really good pairings in there. Prince says the red card cost him the game. Yeah, if it wasn't for that, Getafe would be up 0-5. Sapphire Menga says Pedro needs to rest. Yeah. You know what I suspect with Pedri, because last season was the same, I suspect that with Pedri, given like the type of muscle that he has or his physical build, the studies that they've done, it's probably revealed that maybe Pedri is the kind of player that needs minutes. Versus, Olmo to Rashford to Lewy. Lewy with the bad control. He stops the ball, but his body keeps going forward, so the ball ends up behind him. But that was another good attack by Barcelona from the flank. Rashford to Olmo to Lewy, but Lewy misses the opportunity. It looks like Bardakji is coming in. I see someone talking to Hansi Flick. I see Hansi Flick's arm around someone. I could not tell who it is, but it looks like we have another substitution incoming. But yeah, as I was saying, Pedri, my guess is that maybe Pedri is one of those players that needs constant play time in order to stay healthy. I know some sounds a little bit counterintuitive, but there's some players who are like that, where the minute they stop is when actually they get injured because, you know, their muscles need to be in constant movement. Oh, great pass by Fermin Lopez to Dani Olmo, but the goalkeeper was there first. Great read by Fermin Lopez, who was making a turn with the ball to clear the defender, and then he sees Dani Olmo making that run from the second line, puts in a beautiful pass to him, but the Getafe's goalkeeper gets to it first. Edward says, I love me some Kunde, but he missed two give and go with Rashford when Rashford would have been running into the attack in third. The ghost of Ronald Koeman must be exorcist. I think it's just, Kunde's not used to Rashford. This is literally the first time Kunde's playing with Rashford because, when Rashford has played on the left, or one time he played as a center forward. So Kunde is usually used to playing with Lamine, or if Lamine is not available, with Coutinho, maybe Ferran. But Kunde has never played with Rashford on the right, so, it makes sense. Oh, there we go. Pedri is coming out, and Rooney Bardakji is coming in. So it was Rooney who was speaking to Hansi Flick. Thank God, because Pedri needs some rest. Another spectacular match by Pedri. Very dominant, as always, in the midfield. Pretty much the engine and the heart of the team. And then he's getting some rest because he's played every single match for club and country. So it's really good to see Pedri get the rest. And then the captain's armband going to Lewy. All right. Lewandowski. Obviously, he's not one of the four captains, but since none of the four captains are available right now on the field, Lewandowski gets the armband. I like. Hamad says we haven't heard about the Libero deal. Yeah, we haven't heard anything. Dark Knight says, hey, Mo, I think I'm going to bed now. Barcelona got it in the bag, and I'm writing exams tomorrow. Well, good luck, my friend. Thank you for watching the match with us. Good night. Get some rest. And Prince says, hope Tony Fernandez gets minutes today. Yeah, hopefully. I think Tony would be a good substitution for Lewy. Why not? Oh, did you guys see that? That cross into the box. Gerard Maldini controls with the chest to Juan Garcia. Really nice touch by Gerard Maldini. Let's go. And then Rashford on the counterattack, but he got intercepted. Ball is out of bounds. It's Barcelona's ball. And Muhammad says, we haven't heard about the Libero deal. Wait, I already read that. Uzi says, I wish we had a striker like Fernando Torres in the B team. Not in the B team, but we have a couple of strikers cooking in the youth teams. We have Oscar Gistau. Who else? Can't remember the other guy. I'm blanking on his name. But we have Oscar Gistau cooking in the youth team. Info says, I feel for the Getafe fans in the stadium. This must feel like the very expensive loss with the ticket prices. Yeah. Well, assuming there's any, right? And if there is, it's probably like 200 or something crazy low. Or I think they did show a few Getafe fans, but I imagine it's not that many. I mean, the ticket prices are super high, and it's just not worth to go all the way from Madrid to Barcelona to sit to pay those prices. Let's see. Rooney Bardarji. No, that was Casado to Rashford. Rashford. No, that was Fermin to Rashford. Rashford to Casado. There's too many short players on the Barcelona team. It becomes a little confusing. Sapphire says Pedri is coming out. Yeah, he already came out. Prince says first time seeing Lewa as captain. Yeah. And Steve says, is Bernal wearing a cloaking device? Oh, you know what? That's a good question because I don't know if I've seen Bernal. Have I seen Bernal? Have they shown Bernal? I have not seen Bernal. But again, like I said before, like don't expect that many minutes during the first half of the season for Bernal. He's gonna be reincorporated very slowly, as he should, given a serious injury. But Marcus Rashford has it now, gives it to Fermin. Fermin opens it up to the right to Jules Koundé. Koundé to Rooney Bardarji, who's going 1v1 against a defender. Oh, he almost ate crap. Bardarji to Koundé. Koundé to the cross that it gets headed out. And now Barcelona regain again the control of the ball with Eddie Garcia to Christensen. Christensen to Casado. Let's see. Man, Barcelona won their fourth goal. I love this. I love seeing this Hansi Flick's Barca. A Barca that never quits. A Barca that never takes its foot off the accelerator regardless of what the scoreline is. This is the Barca that we all want to see. Let's see. Getafe right now defending with all their players. And Barcelona looking for space. Oh, ball goes out and it's Getafe's ball. Prince says, Rashford looking saucy today. Yo, Rashford is tall, man. Every time I see him next to other players, he just looks tall. And yet he's so fast and explosive for someone that tall. Because, usually very, very tall players, or people, I should say, not players, they're not as fast because, they're not... it's a lot more difficult when you have weird long legs to run fast and your center of gravity and all that crap. But Rashford, man, despite his height, he's very explosive and very quick. I mean, he can accelerate so fast. They're showing his replay right now where he was on the right, cuts into the middle, takes the shot. Oh, the shot ends up getting deflected off a defender, and then the goalkeeper is there to block it. Prince says, bro, have you seen Fati's brace? I have not seen the brace, but we were talking about it earlier during the live. Someone mentioned it. I saw that Monaco beat Metz 5-2 with a brace of Ansu Fati. I have not seen the goals yet. I'm definitely going to be seeing that. But very happy with Ansu. He scored his debut goal on Thursday against Club Brugge. And now today, a brace against FC Metz. Let's hope this is the start of a great comeback for Ansu Fati, whether it be a great, great comeback that can maybe bring him back to Barcelona, or at least a great comeback that would allow Barcelona to make some money off his transfer. Either one, but either way, I just want to see Ansu back again because, it's an absolute shame for someone that young with so much skill and talent to just, for his career to come to a premature end because of the injuries. I would hate to see that. So I really want to see Ansu Fati back strong, back playing, being a great player, whether it be for his own sake, right? I don't even care if Barcelona ends up signing him or not, or they end up making a lot of money off his sale or not. It's more about the player himself, such a talented, skilled player, so young. I would hate to see him have to, God forbid, retire early or have to go to a crappy league just because injuries, It's always sad to see that. So let's hope this is the start of a great comeback. Olmo to Fermin, Fermin back to Olmo. For two players that compete for the same position, they actually have good chemistry. So far, I've seen them combine together really well. I see again Christensen to Olmo, Olmo to Fermin, Fermin to Christensen, Christensen to Casado. Leo says, what's Rashford GA looking like now? 3-1? I know he scored. Wait, no, he's only scored 2 goals. 2-1? I think he has 2 goals and 1 assist. Or is it 2 goals and 2 assists? Let's look it up. Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford. He has. Let's see. Oh, Araujo's coming. That's interesting. Oh my God. Guys, I really have to take this phone call. I apologize. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. I had to take that call. It was an urgent call. But okay, yeah, we were looking at Marcus Rashford's GA. Let's see. So I know he has an assist in La Liga, and I know he has 2 goals in the Champions League. Obviously, duh. But let me look at his. Why is this not popping up? There we go. Yeah, 2 goals, both in the Champions League, and 1 assist, which is in La Liga. So he has a 2-1. 2-1 GA, obviously for Barcelona. I don't know if your question is for Barcelona or in general. Marcus Rashford now looks like so Rashford has moved to the left, obviously his natural position. Once Rooney Bardarji came in, so Rooney's on the right, Rashford is on the left. If we gonna look for Rashford's GA in total, let me see. Let me see total. We're gonna do all seasons, all clubs, all competitions, and in total for both Man U, Barcelona, and Aston Villa, Rashford has 462 matches played. Oh, come on. Stop doing that. 149 goals and 86 assists. Not bad. Not bad. What is that? 145, 200, 245. So 245 GA in 462 matches. Okay, so a little over a half GA per match. Prince says Gerard Maldini getting a well-deserved ovation. Yeah, man, Gerard Maldini, bro, he just keeps getting better and better. And I still remember. I don't want to say I told you so. Not to you. I'm speaking in general. I still remember when last season Gerard Maldini first got promoted to the first team, and after the first couple of matches of him playing, people were like, "Oh, he's trash. He's not Barca level. Sell him." Blah blah blah. And I said, "Guys, chill. The guy just got promoted to first division. Of course, he's gonna struggle. You know, people think that everybody who gets promoted to first team is like going to be a Lamine Yamal or a Pau Cubarsí. That's not the case. Those guys are the exception, not the rule. All right. Most players, when they make the jump to first division, it takes some time to adapt because all of a sudden they're playing against bigger, stronger, faster, more skilled players.
Everything's faster, everything's more intense. They have to get adapted to that. It's like going from driving your car on the street to driving, a Formula One car. All of a sudden, everything's faster. Your reaction time has to be quicker. You have less time to think. You have less time to make decisions. So this is, it takes time to adapt to that and to try to immediately say a player is terrible just because the first few matches are bad. That's just not the right thing. Now, half a season goes by or a full season goes by and they're still terrible, obviously they're terrible then, right? But after a few matches, when they just got promoted to first division, I think that's a little bit premature. Um, so, oh, wow. I think I saw a handball actually on that one. But Getafe with the attack, take a shot. I think this is their second shot on goal, and Juan Garcia was there to. Wait, was it a. Wow. I mean, it was a weak shot, but there was a lot of bodies in the way, and Juan Garcia was definitely paying attention to that. So, as always, and he was able to stop it. But let's see. Oh, for Leo said clarifying for Barca. Yeah, so for Barca it's 2-1. It's both goals in the Champions League and then one assist in La Liga. So 2-1 so far in 5 matches. We'll see, hopefully that number will 10 times, right? Let's see. Young Braveheart says, how's that a foul on Fermin? I think I might have missed that one. Mazuva says, as now for Rashford has 2 goals and 2 assists. I don't think so. I think it's 2 goals and 1 assist. Plus, I just looked it up, and it's 2 goals and 1 assist. 1 assist in La Liga, 2 goals in the Champions League. So it's 2-1 for sure. You might have maybe be thinking about the preseason, but definitely not an official matches. Let's see. Bad Boy says it's 2-2. He had an assist today, Rashford? Because Mazuba says, as of now, Rashford has 2 goals, both against Newcastle, and 2 assists, one against Valencia, and one today. Rashford had an assist today? Wait, who did he assist? Olmo? Was it an assist? Why am I not like remembering the goal? Let's see. Bum bum beedum bum bum beedum bum. Okay, let's see. I don't think. Did Rashford assist Olmo? Because he definitely did not assist Ferran, right? I don't know. Am I misremembering something? Did I miss something? Mark Harvard says, I think it's 2 assists because he had one today, the last goal. And Justice says, yes, 2 assists in the league. Young Braveheart says, yes. Kwaku says, it's 2-1 before today. Now 2-2. Young Braveheart says, Olmo goal. Bad Boy says, yeah, the goal with Olmo. Let me see. Prince says, yes, he assisted Olmo's goal. All right, we get it. We get it. He assisted Olmo's goal. Justice says he assisted Rafinha. Now we're talking about this match, not his previous assist against Valencia. Let's see. Ozzy says the assist was not given. Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't know if I'm crazy, but I'm pretty sure that did not count as an assist. But I guess we'll have to wait and see once the match is over. But I don't think it was. But anyways, let's see. Oh, there's Rashford. Ooh. Rashford, great run into the box, cuts to his right, takes the shot, but the Getafe the Getafe goalkeeper was there to block it. Wow, that was a good run by Rashford, man. Rashford's looking more and more confident with every match. I think those 2 goals against Newcastle definitely helped because I see him even more confident today. Like Rashford has definitely been on the rise. Like every match has been better than the last. Not to say that he's like had a spectacular matches where he's completely gone off, but every match we've seen an improvement, and that's good. That means that Rashford is slowly adapting, getting used to his teammates, getting used to his coach, and slowly he's going to improve. And I think, by October, maybe November, we might see, the Rashford that we all know. But Rashford has been improving after each match, and today is no different. Today, I saw him a lot more confident than against Newcastle. So that's definitely good. Uh, let's see. Where did we leave off? Young Braveheart says, time to party before work in an hour. Oh, wait, Lewandowski with the run. Lewandowski with the run. But then the ball gets taken away. Passes it to Olmo. Olmo to Rooney Bardarji. Bardarji cuts, takes the shot. But the Getafe goalkeeper was there to block it. I think if Rooney Bardarji would have made his shot a little bit more open, like instead of to the near post, to the far post, I think he might have had a good shot there of scoring. It also doesn't help that the ball does get deflected of the Getafe's defender's leg. But another great attack by Barcelona, but unfortunately does not end in goal. Leopold says the flick effect. Amen, my friend. Amen. And Kara King says Getafe style of football is make your opponent get red cards. Their style of football is just disrupt by any means possible, right? That way to prevent the other team from building flow from. Oh, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. The match is over. FC Barcelona 3, Getafe 0. Barcelona remain undefeated in La Liga with 4 victories and 1 draw. Still 2 points behind Real Madrid, given that draw against Rayo Vallecano, but nonetheless undefeated in the league. We are seeing right now, is it Fermin Lopez? It looks like Fermin Lopez is on the floor. It looks like he's in a lot of pain. Hopefully, it's nothing serious. The doctors right now, the team doctors are checking on him. I think it is Fermin Lopez. I can't see his face because there's so many people around him, but I did see the number on his shorts, and it looked like number 16, and I think that's Fermin Lopez. Let's hope it's nothing serious there. Right now, they're showing the replay of the goal. That beautiful pass by Rafinha into the box. Olmo with the back heel to Ferran Torres, and Ferran Torres opening the scoreline for Barcelona. What a great play, by the way. That pass by Rafinha was absolutely wonderful, and Olmo's pass was even better. I mean, beautiful play right there by the 3 Barcelona attackers. And I guess that's all ESPN is going to show us. They're just going to show us the Barcelona's first goal. Now, I will be doing the post-match live analysis in about an hour once I've digested everything that has happened. So, of course, stay tuned for that. But great match by Barcelona. Complete domination of Getafe. For me, the best match against Getafe in quite some time. Again, not because Getafe is one hell of a team, not because they have all these skilled players, not because their coach is like this brilliant tactician, but because we all know how Getafe play, an incredibly dirty team that parks the bus, looks to delay and to waste time. They look to interrupt the flow of their opponent by, dirty tactics like fouls, wasting time. And then, as usual, they try to make the passes to the wings in hopes to catch, the opposing team off guard. Today, none of that worked. Not the delay tactics, not the dirty tactics. Barcelona completely imposed themselves, dismantled Getafe's low block defense, scored 3 goals. All 3 of them were brilliant goals. Could have been even more. Ferran hit the post once. We had a lot of close chances, but great match by Barcelona. Great victory, and 3 more points for the Blaugrana club as we remain undefeated in La Liga. Now they're showing the replay of all the goals. There's a Frankie pass to Rafinha. God, that pass by Rafinha to Olmo to the box, and then Olmo's backheel pass to Ferran was just absolute masterclass. Like, chef's kiss to that play. I want to see Real Madrid make a play like this. They can't because their football is horrendous. All they have is Kylian Mbappe. And here's the second goal. Olmo quick pass. Oh, no, sorry. This was the miss. Olmo quick pass to Pedri. Pedri makes the run into the box, crosses it into Robert Lewandowski, but Lewy slides for it, but the pass is a little bit off. Had he connected, that for sure would have been a goal. And then here's the second goal. Quick pass by Eddie Garcia to Rafinha. Rafinha to Ferran. And then Ferran, hand-to-hand with the goalkeeper, buries it in the bottom left corner. I thought Rafinha was offside, but he actually starts running. He takes off from Barcelona's half, so definitely not offside. Completely catching Getafe off guard. I mean, that's a great pass. Great play. I mean, this is how you break down low block defenses. And now I want to see the third goal. Let's see. Pedri heads it to Olmo. Olmo to Lewy. Oh no, this is when Lewy gets a shot in, but the goalkeeper blocks it. What a way to protect the ball with his body, by the way, Lewy. Protects the ball with his body, then once he has control of the ball, makes the run. And there is the pass to Ferran. That's when Ferran hits the. That was a Pedri pass from the midfield to Ferran as Ferran making the run into the box. Ferran connects with the ball, but then ends up hitting the post, barely missing his hat trick. Man, I wish he could have scored his hat trick. I think he deserved it. He had a really good match. And here's the nasty foul on Jules Koundé. That should have definitely been a booking. And then Koundé obviously gets up all mad. Rafinha gets involved, and then the Getafe defender just like goes to the ground like someone just shot his leg with a shotgun. I mean, fucking Getafe, man. But thankfully, we didn't see a lot of that dirty tactics by Getafe. I think the ref eventually regained control by starting to book players. So at least it wasn't as nasty as usual. Again, to me, the best match against Getafe in a very long time. Let's see, and there's Getafe's chance, dude. That shot by the Getafe player in the box, the ball bounces off Koundé, lands to him. He takes the shot. The ball takes a crazy effect, but thankfully goes wide. Let's see, Casado long pass to Rashford with the third goal. Rashford makes the run, cuts it to the box, pass into the. Oh, okay, that is the assist of Rashford. I don't know why I forgot it was Rashford. I remember the Casado starting the play. But okay, yeah. Okay, this is what I was missing. I don't know why my memory failed me like that. But yeah, Casado, long pass to Rashford. Rashford cuts into the middle, runs through the box, waits for the goalkeeper, all the players to be on him, makes a back pass to the edge of the box, and there comes Olmo running from the second line to score it. So Rashford with the assist and Olmo with the goal. Very well deserved goal for Olmo, by the way. After the match that he had, incredible match that he had, Fermin Lopez came in, and I really liked Fermin Lopez's performance too. I think Fermin was combining really well with his teammates. He had a really good. He was combining really well with Olmo, someone he's competing for that attacking midfield position. But I even like the minutes of Fermin. I think Hansi Flick has a very difficult job to decide who is going to be that attacking midfielder because Olmo had a brilliant match today. Fermin had a brilliant match against Valencia. And today, even when Fermin was on the field, both him and Olmo were having good minutes together. Really tough choice for Hansi Flick. But Barcelona 3, Getafe 0. Again, I'm doing the post-match live analysis in a few minutes. Let's do a few more comments, and then we'll end the live stream. And, of course, thank you all who joined me to watch this match. Ozzy Black says, I hope he is okay. But, yeah, it is Fermin. Yeah, Fermin was on the ground. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. Hopefully, it's nothing serious. But I guess we'll have to wait. Jorge says, so far, my Ansu Fati jersey hasn't aged well. I hope he kills it and comes back well. But what do we do if he does come back since this number is taken? I guess he'll get another number. Barcelona are not going to be taking the 10 away from Lamine to give it back to Ansu. Hamad says it was Fermin Mo that was on the floor. Yeah, definitely it was Fermin. Isaac says, I hope he isn't injured. I hope so. I hope not. Sorry. I was going to say, I hope so either, but that's not a phrase. I hope not. William Castro says we don't see a lot of Getafe bullshit because we play well. I think Barcelona was really good at not allowing Getafe to do the crap that they do by moving the ball so fast. So Getafe was never able to gain control of the ball and start wasting time. Also, by moving the ball so quick, there was never time for players to clash. And that was, I think, also important. Jorge says, another shout out. Amen. And Diego says, Rashford is getting well. Yeah, Rashford, man. I'm liking it. Every match is better than the last one, than the one before. And I like that. We're seeing a progression with Marcus Rashford. Young Braveheart says, good to have depth. We need long season. Amen. I really like our depth this season. Raul says, another 3 points in the bag. Big congratulations to the players. Yes, big 3 points. Diego says, first time I catch you live from South Africa. Well, welcome to the live, my friend. I'm glad you were able to join us today. Isaac says, Juan Garcia has added something to our attack, and that's quick restart. Absolutely. Hara King says, Marcos really getting into his role. Marcus, yes, 100%. Leo says, clean sheet as well, which is good. Yes. And Kata King says Martin looking solid in the back, 100%. And Young Braveheart says they had a lot of the ball foul on Bar players. Yeah, they were. They did. But anyways, that is all. Thank you guys for joining me on this watch along. Barcelona 3, Getafe 0. Very important victory. I will be doing the post-match live analysis shortly, so stay tuned to the channel. I will see you guys during that post-match live analysis. Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment,